hello.
Front Porch Show.
We're set to go.
Front Porch Show.
Hello, hello. We're set to go on with the Front Porch Show. It's Dynamo.
Front Porch Show.
Magnifico.
Front Porch Show.
Dynamo Magnifico on with the Front Porch Show. We'll have a laugh or two.
Right.
Big smiles from me and you. Hello, hello.
Front Porch Show.
We're good to go.
Front Porch Show.
Hello, hello. We're good to go on with the Front Porch Show. Here's Donnie.
Live from St. Mary's, it's the Front Porch Show starring John Stevens. This is Don Van Galen along with the piano man, Frank St.Germain. Join John and his guest, Amy Cubberley from the St. Mary's Museum. The Eggman, Scott Graham. Pauline White from the Senior Services Wellness Coordinator. Musical guests 8 a.m. and Angry. Lauren Eady with Community Calendar and another episode of Alternate Facts, all today on the Front Porch Show.
We'll have a laugh or two. Big smiles from me and you. Really loud. Hello, hello.
Front Porch Show.
We're set to go.
Front Porch Show.
Hello, hello. We're set to go on with the
Front Porch Show.
Here's John. Hey, you didn't trip this week. Way to go.
Wow, Sally Ann.
Yeah, you're going for a nice trip. See you next fall. Okay, Peter, that laugh. Come on. Thank you. Okay, welcome again to the Front Porch Show in the most beautiful small town in Canada, maybe the whole world, St. Mary's, Ontario. And we've had quite a weekend. The Kinsman Summerfest was on this past weekend, great success. And some people are not here because we're having a Syrian meal in town. Anyways, had a few comments from internet people and from my wife as well that our backdrop looked a bit tacky a few weeks ago. So thanks to McBride's Rentals, we have now a beautiful backdrop.
Yeah, baby.
And they're McBride's Rentals in Rannoch.
Close enough.
Downtown Rannoch. Okay. By the way, how do you like my shirt this week from the Salvation Army? Buy a shirt. All the money stays to help people in St. Mary's. And also, haircut. Okay. My barber, he says it's the best haircut he's ever given. He's going to take a picture and put it on the wall. And how many here? No, I know. How many here are for the first time here? The Front Porch Show. Okay. Hopefully it's not the last time. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, and out-of-towners, I know we don't have any out-of-towners.
Did you make that up?
I did, yeah. So, first, Blake Woods, where are you? Come in here, Blake, come on in. Quickly.
Oh, wow.
And what do you have there, Blake, and tell us what you're going to do with them.
This is from Camp Bimini, which is a church camp about 15 minutes east of here, and I sit on the board there. And every Sunday this summer, we've been selling Krispy Kreme donuts as a fundraiser. And this Sunday, for the first time, we actually have 15 dozen left over. So they're $10 a dozen. If anybody would like to help out Camp Bimini in the Front Porch Show, please see me. I'm just sitting up there. You'll smell me with the donuts. And thank you so much.
Okay.
All right.
And Pauline will be on afterwards to help work off those Krispy Kremes.
Work off those donuts.
Yeah. Okay, internet viewers, quickly. Rich Miller from Glendora, California. I know you're watching, Rich.
Yeah.
We've got a challenge for you. You're going to become our Hollywood agent. We want to be on the Ellen Show. Okay, that's your job. You tell us how it's going to work. But Rich, you must contact Ellen and let her know about the Front Porch Show. The whole crew will go down there, okay? Emma Hawley's from Edmonton. Tony Scatella from Hamilton. David Winkler Mori from Minneapolis, St. Paul. And we have our Istanbul contingent, Kubra Erdogan, Jada Birol, and Savash Esatoglu. And you know what Savash means from last week, right?
I have no idea. What's that mean?
It means war.
War? What's that good for?
Absolutely nothing.
Say it again.
Absolutely nothing. Okay, and as you know, you can leave a comment. Don, you said talk about this?
Yeah, so we're going to do something new today. You know, if you're watching on Facebook, you can make comments, of course. So we're going to be monitoring that. And if you say something funny, or if you're from a place we haven't heard about before, or just some place we want to shout out to, you're going to see us do it right during the show. So stay tuned and see what magic happens.
Okay, thank you. And we're going to go from here, I think.
I love you, St. Mary's. That's my comment. Do we love St. Mary's? Then comment. We love St. Mary's.
Welcome to the Frank St.Germain show. Anyways,
That's my comment.
What a comment. Anyways, we're now going to go to Alternative Facts.
All right, baby.
How about a nice hand for Don, eh?
Yeah.
He actually makes this stuff up or it's true.
That's the whole point. We got to figure out whether it's true or not. So this week's alternate fact or true story actually happened just yesterday. So some of you will know that in addition to all this wonderful front porch show stuff, occasionally I get involved in the improv show. So we had one last night up in Listowel. And Listowel is one of those places where strange things happen, apparently, because the show started and we were in the green room warming up, and this squirrel ran through the green room. And unfortunately, one of my other improv artists, Michael, who's from St. Thomas, he's a lawyer of all things, deathly scared of squirrels. And he just cowered up, like he turned into a little ball and just trying to hide from that squirrel. And this squirrel kept on showing up all during the show. It was just amazing to watch this lawyer who, you know, could probably destroy you in a court of law just cowering in a corner just because of a little squirrel running on stage. You think so? You think so? Hello?
Did you ever guess? You like contestants?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. How did I get that far? I was way out there. I was way. You know, I didn't even bother. Anyway, I'm sorry. Come join me here. Come join me here.
You mean I could have won a shirt?
Oh man. Anyway, so never have done this before. You can excuse me. I was just so enthusiastic to tell that story from last night. But anyways, of course, the whole point of this is to say, is this a true story? So our contestants, which are...
Charlie Hammond?
Charlie, where are you from here?
About 2 blocks that way.
2 blocks that way. That would make you a St. Mary's person, right? Excellent, excellent. And you, ma'am?
Linda McCutcheon,
Linda, and you are from?
St. Mary's.
Excellent. We'd like to hear that. Although we love to have guests. But, all right, you've heard the story already, so I don't have to do that again. Anyways, what do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Charlie, is it true or is it an alternate fact?
Definitely true.
It's definitely true. You know those squirrels up in Listowel, do you?
Yeah, they're vicious. The white ones.
The white. That's Exeter, isn't it? That's Exeter. Maybe they made the trip.
I should have asked the color, shouldn't I?
You should have. I could have put it in the story, but then of course it might not actually be true.
I have to agree with them.
You think it's a true story? All right, ladies and gentlemen, the rest of you, what do you think? True story or not? Oh, kind of a mixed response there. Are we feeling confident? Are we feeling confident?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I have to tell you, actually, there won't be any prizes this week.
No, there's consolation prizes.
We'll get the consolation prizes because nobody handed them to me. I'm not the only one forgetting things tonight. But actually, the real story is even more bizarre because we weren't in Listowel. We were in Ingersoll last night, and it wasn't a squirrel. It was a bat. Oh my! And how many of you know our improv director, Leanne? Oh, she hates bats. Oh my goodness, she just turned into a tower of jelly. But she's a real trooper. She did the show. and we even did a little bit of humor involved. But thank you for playing, guys. I really appreciate it. But I got you this. Here's your consolation prizes. Give them a hand, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Now you're gonna have to dock my pay there for missing out on that cue.
It's been cut in half. Okay, there we go. Okay, we have next coming up, Lauren Eady with Community Calendar. But first, what's the big headline this week, Lauren, in the St. Mary's Independent?
Couple things, but
Yeah.
primarily they are filming out a new Stephen King film, which everyone has been interested in. There's a church being built outside of town. If you drive out by Finney's, you can see it.
And it's sort of half built, isn't it?
I think it's completely erected.
Okay, good. And it's another headline.
Leave it alone, man.
Easy break, walk away. But otherwise, there were reports of who was running for council this year.
And who isn't running for council, right?
This gentleman to my left.
Yes, Don is not running for
Unfortunately.
council. Now, what I find amusing is Don, he gets a headline for something he isn't doing.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
he got front page news.
You got to give them what they want. Quit.
But I hear that one of the reasons you're leaving is because you become such a star on the Front Porch Show.
Yes. That whole line about business, that was all just the typical thing you say.
Yes.
No, I've got all these gigs lined up. I got the Front Porch Show, even though my pay just got cut in half, John.
Yeah. Oh, no.
And I got the improv stuff.
Yeah, improv.
And I got Murdoch Mysteries in a couple of weeks. The stash is coming in, so I'm going to be ready for that.
Yeah.
All right, and your Hollywood agent.
Yeah, Rich Miller.
Yeah, he's gonna get us some more stuff. So
I know.
I don't need this politics stuff anymore.
Maybe Ellen might want to come here to scout us out before we go to her show.
Well, I think that's just the first logical thing to do.
Let's hear, if you'd like to hear, have Ellen here.
There you go.
Okay. There we go. So it's going to happen. Rich, it's up to you. Okay, so let's hear our community. Yeah.
Community calendar, people. So, hi. Backed by popular demand, the St. Mary's Museum will be hosting its 7th annual Melodies at the Museum summer concert series during the month of August. Every Wednesday from 7 till 8 p.m., a different musical performance will take place outdoors right here at the Performing Arts Stage in Cadzow Park. Big John and the Honkin' Swans are here to kick off the concert series this coming Wednesday at 7 o'clock. This Wednesday is also the deadline for registration for the PRC's first ever Pickleball Fun Tournament. This event, which takes place on Wednesday, August 15th, is being put on by the Friendship Center and the St. Mary's Social Pickleball Club as a fundraiser for programs related to the sport, as well as the newly painted courts on Water Street. Players of all skill levels are welcome for this fun-oriented tournament. To sign up, please contact H. Bennett at townofstmarys.on.ca, waving their arm just over there. Yep, perfect. Or call 284-3272. Abracadabra, next week's Fun Day Friday at the library is Magic Bookworm Show. Magician Owen Anderson will be at the library to wow the audience with tricks of all kinds that are not only engaging but designed to promote the value of libraries, books, and reading. A maximum of 85 people, including parents, are permitted at this event, and all children younger than 7 must be accompanied by an adult. Registration will open this Monday at 10:30 a.m., and the event itself will take place on Friday from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. Saturday morning, the St. Mary's Farmers Market will again be open from 8 till noon at Jones Street parking lot. Come on down for fresh produce, locally raised meats, and farm-baked goods, as well as handmade crafts. And next Sunday afternoon, the Windmill Family Campground proudly presents the 23rd Annual Classic and Antique Car Show. It runs from noon till 4 p.m. with an entry fee of $5. Proceeds of this event will go to the St. Mary's Salvation Army. And that's your community calendar for this week. Have a great week, everyone.
Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
Lauren,
See you
Lauren,
next
just
week.
a minute, just a minute.
Just
Just a minute, I got a song for you.
Oh,
I got a song. I got to do this. I'm sorry. Send me the pillows that you dream on.
I'm sitting down.
So darling, I can dream on them too. What?
Okay.
They're walking out on you, Frank.
Left me. I love you, baby.
Okay, here we go. Our first guest was on the show just 2 weeks ago. She's becoming a regular, and we're glad about it. She was talking about Girl Guides at that time, but she's wearing her official hat as curator and archivist of the St. Mary's Museum, Amy Cubberley. Good to see you. Welcome back.
Thank you.
You went on vacation in between, right?
I did go on vacation.
And I saw you with a big, huge fish.
I caught a couple of fish on vacation, yeah.
Of course, so, okay, well, one of the things you're here for is to talk about music and the museum. And somebody with honkin' swan,
Yes.
it's got to be a great start.
Yes, for sure. So we are going into our 7th year of Melodies at the Museum. And so it started out as just 2 Wednesday evening concerts in August. And it's now grown to every Wednesday in August. So there's 5 Wednesdays this year, 5 concerts. And we're really excited. As is the Front Porch Show, we have a stage this year. So we have kind of outgrown our front lawn at the museum. We were getting upwards of 200 to 250 people at a show. So we're looking forward to using this space here. The concerts are admission by donation, and it is a major fundraiser for the museum. So all proceeds do go to the museum.
But our museum, I've been to many places. I've lived in many places around the world. And for the size of our community, our museum is a real treasure. It's something we should be very proud of. And you have the likes of Tim Telfer gave a few seminars last year, but there's a few coming up in the near future.
Yes, so we do an annual seminar series where we do monthly seminars. And Ken always seems to draw a crowd. His Hotels and Taverns seminar, I think he ended up doing 7 times because we just kept selling out and kept offering it again. So our series it's actually starting up in August this year. One of the summer students at the museum is presenting his undergrad thesis, and so it looked at how St. Mary's remembered the First World War. So that's coming up in August, and then in September we'll be doing the history of photography, and so that's one we've actually done before. We're offering it again. And then in October, Ken and Mary are doing election shenanigans, looking at election shenanigans from the past.
And is Don part of that
Featuring
at all?
Don Van Galen.
Well, I'm sure I think I'll go to that. That should be fun. All of
Bring
it's
my
fun.
lawyer.
Now, one of the other things, you have special expositions from now and again. Tell me about some of those.
Yep, so one of the major exhibits we have on for this summer is looking at the history of newspapers in our community. So as we know, we lost the Journal Argus last year, and we felt it was timely to highlight not just the history of the Journal Argus, but also the Independent and the importance of these newspapers to a small community. So that's on until about November. We also are hosting the Baseball Hall of Fame this summer. So as most know, their site is closed this year while they're doing some renovations. So we're hosting a number of small baseball exhibits throughout the year that Scott's been installing. And then coming up this fall, there's 2 exciting exhibits. One, we're going to be featuring Lincolns. So we're partnering with the St. Mary's Lincolns.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
highlighting some of their players that have gone on to play in the NHL.
And Scott, you're one of them, right? Yeah.
I'm not sure you're in the exhibit, Scott.
You missed the Eggman?
I missed the Eggman. Major oversight. I'm sorry. And then for Christmas, we're doing a partnership exhibit with the St. Mary's Public Library and Reed Needles. And we are featuring children's book illustrators. So it's going to be at the Station Gallery, the museum, and the library.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people think of the St. Mary's Museum as a building that's just up that hill, but there's a tremendous online presence as well.
Yes, so we are actively digitizing historic photos and uploading them to our Picture St. Mary's website. So that started about 10 years ago, and we initially updated about 2,500, but we have done a couple of thousand more since then, and we have a summer student this year whose primary role is to continue uploading new content. So there's always new photos being added.
And I know running a bed and breakfast, we have guests sometimes come in and they want to find their family history through the museum. So you have tons of archives.
Yes, I was cornered by your
Yeah, I guess
in-laws family on the Grand Trunk
Yes.
Trail, so sometimes I give genealogy while out for a walk, but I prefer that people come to the museum. So we do have things like birth, marriage, and death records, property assessment records back to the 1850s, so if your family's from the area, we can help you find out some information about them.
And is there anything else I haven't touched on?
That we do. So
Yeah.
programming is another big component. So we touched a little bit on our seminar series. We also do a lot of school field trip programming, especially for grade 3s.
Okay, great. Now, if I want to take advantage of all the museum has to offer, what do I do? Who do I contact?
Stop in.
Stop
Find
in?
me.
Phone?
Send us, call us, send us an email.
And you have a Facebook page
We
as
do
well?
have a Facebook page. You can send a message to the Facebook page. It's not monitored as actively as the Town of St. Mary's Facebook page, but yeah. that's
Great.
an
Now, you
option.
brought along a bit of an artifact. I'm going to let you pull it up.
Okay, so I have a mystery artifact that I've been told not to clank on the table. So it is a series of Mickey things with a handle on each end.
Can I see the other end? Can I have the other
Yeah,
end?
so
There we go. So it goes like this, and this
I've
goes.
tied it up so it doesn't become
So
a
it
big.
goes all along in two handles.
Yep.
Two handles. Okay. Does anybody know what it is?
Skipping rope.
Skipping rope. I don't think so. Don.
No, it's a chain for surveying lots.
It is a surveyor's chain.
And what does that mean? It's a
So
certain length and you get
so
measured.
it's 66 feet long, which is the width of an average road from ditch to ditch, and it has little hooks along the end. And so before St. Mary's was settled, surveyors came and surveyed the land first, and this is one of their major tools.
Okay. And that's why they're called golf links. Is that right?
Sure.
Yeah. Why not? That's a joke, folks. No. Yeah. Some applause. I love it.
Some sympathy applause
Encourage
for
me.
the host, please.
Okay. Thank you, Amy, for dropping in. Don, now going to commercial. Tell us about it.
Yeah, but before I do, I just want to mention that Raymond Taylor from London is watching us, as is Tony Scutella. He says hi. Darren Pryke of Markham, Ontario. And Chris Butler says, your shirt looks tacky, John.
I don't believe you. You come here and say that to my face.
I'm sure he loves my shirt, though.
Oh, I'm sure you
I'm
got
sure
Frank's
he
shirt too.
Frank, yep. I think you're going to have to
I
up
got
your
this
game
in
a bit, John.
I got this in Tahiti at the Sally Inn.
The Salvation Army in Tahiti. That's terrific. That's terrific. Okay, but we do have a commercial. You did say it, but I've been messing up a little bit today, so I'm going to go for a cup of coffee at Stonetown, and then you can just watch this commercial. Okay?
Okay, very good.
Hi, I'm Annette, the owner of Stonetown Coffee,
And I'm Tara for Stonetown Coffee.
Don't be nervous, girls. I love your stuff.
and we have great coffee in our area
We also have wonderful desserts.
to go with our great coffee.
You can get a tasty breakfast or lunch as well,
You can relax in comfortable surroundings with your friends.
and drink some great coffee together.
Did I tell you we have great coffee?
You could also get tea or cool drinks, sandwiches, wraps, and so much more.
We sell lattes, cappuccinos, iced coffee. You can try to do anything you would desire in our store.
Whoa. I've been a Danish
Stonetown
baby
Coffee is
today.
open 7 days a week, and we're located at 5 Water Street, the corner of Water and Queen.
Is there anything else?
You can always get your great coffee or whatever else with a smile.
We have one thing going on. Starting Monday, all seniors will get 10% off their coffee.
That leaves me out.
Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Stonetown Coffee, yeah. That ain't no coffee.
Next time somebody goes in there, I'll say, well, I'll have whatever.
You can get anything you want at Stonetown Coffee's restaurant.
There we go.
Steppin', Don and John and Frankie at
Okay.
Stonetown Coffee restaurant.
next guest is a hometown boy who's been successful in his career and I would say in life. And he can really tell you which came first, the chicken or the egg. Here's Scott Graham.
I am the Eggman. I am the Eggman. I am the Walrus.
Cuckoo Cachoo.
Cuckoo Cachoo. Is that a crazy song?
Well, what does Cuckoo Cachoo mean? I don't know.
It's like who put the bump in the bump.
Yeah, well, Scott knows that too. Did you grow up with farming in your blood?
Sure did, John. Yeah.
Yeah.
Moved here when I was a year old from Chatham, and we've been farming here since '53.
And when you grew up, did you want to be a farmer?
I would say yes. Probably had some other aspirations along the way. But,
Hockey was one of them, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, and you were quite good.
Well, according to Amy, no. Yeah, well, fairly.
You were on a championship team in St. Mary's, weren't
a finalist team.
you? A finalist
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
So you were on one of the great Lincoln teams.
Yeah, well, it was certainly a lot of fun and some lifelong friends.
And you ended up going to college in the United States on a hockey scholarship.
Yes,
right?
I did.
And
Yeah.
what college was that?
St. Lawrence University.
St. Lawrence University, and you happened to meet a lovely girl there, I remember. And she sort of moved back to St. Mary's, didn't she?
Stole her away.
Yeah, good stuff. Now
One of the better Americans. As I've always said, it's not about the people down there. It's about the policy they write sometimes.
Yeah.
So
and now, how is that affecting the egg market? Is it good or bad?
Well, we need to be concerned about it, but hopefully we've got a system that'll survive through some of this conversation that's going on right now. It's been a good system for Canadian farmers. So, yeah, hopefully we'll withstand all the rhetoric that continues. So,
Now, how long have you been running the farm?
Well, as I say, it's now a third generation farm. Mom and Dad started in '53, and Lori and I took over, well, probably around the early '80s, and now my son Brett is managing the farm.
Yeah. And how many chickens do you have?
Lots.
You count them every day?
You know, it's funny sometimes people ask how many birds we have. I like to tell people how many people we provide for, and roughly with per capita consumption, about 50,000 people we could
rely on your eggs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we could provide for.
Now, how many? Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so you know, put that in perspective about you know, that our farm could provide for all of St. Mary's and all of Stratford.
And you
easily.
And you provide for St. Mary's in your own backyard.
Yes.
You have the egg house.
Yes. Yeah.
It's one of the great places in town. It shows the faith in humanity. You just go. There's nobody there. It's the egg house. It's open. You go, get your eggs, and put money in a slot. And it's all done in trust. And you know something? I'm sure nobody rips you off.
Yeah, it's been probably been doing that for about the same length of time as we've had the sweet court. So since about 1964.
So how many eggs do you get a day?
Roughly 32,000. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot.
I can't even think what 32,000 eggs would
I wish I could bring everybody that's here out to the farm to show them how it works, because it is pretty amazing. We have new facilities, and yeah, we're pretty proud of it.
Maybe we should make the world's biggest omelet here.
It would be nice.
That'd be nice. Okay, everybody wants to know this. What's the difference between a brown egg and a white egg?
There's nothing other than the color.
And why is one brown and why is one white?
Well, John, maybe I'll ask you, what do you think would be the difference?
From a guy who grew up in Toronto, I don't think I would know. There are not too many chickens in North York.
No, it's quite simple. Brown birds lay brown eggs. White birds lay white eggs. However, when I was in Africa a couple years ago, I saw these beautiful white birds in Mozambique that laid brown eggs, which was pretty amazing. It's the first time I'd seen something like that. So.
And they say green eggs and ham. Is there such a thing as a green egg?
Well, yes, there is, probably. Yeah, there's different birds that lay different colored eggs, and Lori and I had the opportunity to go to Chile, for instance, and we saw eggs all different colors in Chile, which was pretty interesting.
Well, we ran a bed and breakfast, and I want to somehow get an ostrich egg and say to somebody, would you like one egg or two? Is there any different colors, any difference in the nutrition? You say nothing, no other difference?
No, that's probably a big misconception that people have. They think that there's a lot of difference. Now, it depends on what you feed the birds, obviously, that they transfer whatever's they're eating into that egg. So, say for instance, in Ontario, the eggs have a darker yolk because of their corn fed, and out west where they're wheat fed, a lot lighter yolk. So yeah, they transfer whatever they're eating into that egg.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. You're married to Lori, and you met her in college. Did she have a farming background when you met her?
No, not not at all. Lori comes from the New York suburbs over in New Jersey. So yes, there's very few, lots of people, no chickens.
Okay. And you have 3 boys. Tell me about it.
Yes, 3 boys, Brett, Sean, and Kevin. Brett's the oldest. He's actually the one that's taken over the farm. He's married. He's got a couple little boys. Sean and Fran live in Toronto. Sean and Kevin are identical twins, and they both live in Toronto.
And they're musicians, right?
Yes, they are.
And do they make their living with music?
No.
But they are good musicians. I know they played at the golf course.
Yes, they're still doing it. Actually, they were at a function here in a couple weeks out at, as a fundraiser.
So how did you become involved in the Egg Farmers of Ontario, besides being a farmer?
Well, I had always been a counselor, which our system is very much a democratic system, so people are elected as counselors. Those counselors elect a director, and the directors elect a chair. So that's sort of the process I went through. There's 10 different zones across Ontario. So out from those counselors that are elected, they elect the director in each zone, and then at the board level, they elect a chair.
And you're the chair?
Yes.
How big of a deal is that?
Well, it's first off, I really enjoy the position. It's nice to represent what I feel is a great group of people, a great group of farm families that really take a lot of pride in what they're doing. And we have about 10 million birds across Ontario, so it's a lot of birds to fulfill the needs of the province and that type of thing. So yeah, it's been a very rewarding position.
And what does the Egg Farmers of Ontario do?
Basically everything, John, involved with egg production in the province.
And the safety and the standards?
Yeah, everything to do with food quality. We do, testing of barns for, diseases, that type of thing. A lot of promotion. You probably see a lot through Get Cracking and Who Made Your Eggs Today, that type of thing. So everything that's related to the egg business in the province.
So the industry, is it changing as time goes on with, because the world has changed a lot in the last 20 years. Has egg farming changed a lot?
Well, it certainly has. It's interesting, and again, when you start talking about sustainability and how far we've moved over the last 50 years, we've doubled production, and at the same time using half the resources we used 50 years ago.
Oh, wonderful!
So that's been
so the
great thing.
The future's going to be bright and sunny.
Yeah, well, there's a great demand for eggs. People, if you're on Weight Watchers, there's 0 points now, so don't forget that. So you can have them any time of day, as much as you want.
Okay.
All I ask is you just eat 1 more egg a week, which relates to 4 dozen more eggs a year. And we'll be quite happy out on the gravel road.
Okay. Well, Scott, thanks for dropping in. Really appreciate it. Okay.
My pleasure, John. Thank you.
Don't break my heart, my achy, breaky heart. I just thought of that one. My achy, breaky heart. It's a hit.
Oh, God.
Sounds familiar. It sounds familiar. That's no good. My achy, breaky heart.
No. Not weekly. 3 times a week if I can.
in a men's strength training class.
Do you really, John?
I really do, yes.
3 times a week.
3 times, well, if I can.
A straight training class?
A strength.
Oh.
This one's going
That's
south.
different.
And so I'm going to introduce the person responsible for my magnificent body, Pauline White.
Thank you. Hello, Chamber University from Friendship Center. We're ready to see you out. Look at all those smiles. And Hillary's here too. John, what are you doing?
I'm interviewing you. Come on over here.
How long have you been sitting down, John?
You've been timing me?
How long have you guys been sitting down?
Longer.
Too long? Yeah?
Yeah.
Alrighty. What's
Yeah.
going on? Here we go.
Interview.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
ready.
You want me out there?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Come on. It's like a
way to go.
working interview.
I think you really need some help.
Yeah,
I think I need some help. Do I have any fitness instructors in the crowd? Oh. Are you guys coming? Are you guys
We're certifiable. They're
Do I
certified.
have fitness instructors in the crowd? Here they are.
Here they come. Here they come.
Here they are. Wonderful volunteers.
Okay, you're wellness coordinator for the town of St. Mary's.
Yes, I work for the Senior Services Department out of the Friendship Center.
And how long have you been there?
5 years.
5 years.
Yep.
And what does a senior service wellness coordinator do?
Oh, well, big surprise. I look after education, look after exercise classes, look after falls prevention, and blood pressure. How's your blood pressure, John?
Ask my wife. Why are you laughing so hard?
Going up right now.
No more Stacy's Pizza.
How do you define wellness, Pauline?
How do I personally define wellness is that I have enough energy in the day to do whatever I need to keep well and to do all the activities that I want to do physically, mentally, and emotionally.
Okay, so let's start doing some exercises
Let's
then.
start. Are
Let's
you guys
get the
ready?
music.
I don't know if they're ready.
Who's ready?
Are you ready?
ready?
That's your cue. Are you ready?
Oh, that was Steeble. Are you ready?
Yeah! Loud enough?
Can we join you?
All right.
Yes, please, come along.
Don't break my heart, my achy.
I don't have to touch my toes.
Oh, you just
No,
missed.
but you
Just missed.
definitely got to spread out, and you got the wrong shoes on.
One-handed. One-handed.
Start a push-up contest.
Call a paramedic.
Okay,
Say
but
it's
you
on your
guys
mark.
need to spread
Okay.
out. Spread out.
Spread
so you
out.
don't
I've
hit
been
each other.
spreading out for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty spread out right here.
You guys need to come to men's strength. How we doing today? All right, we're step touching it. There
Okay.
you go. There you go.
What kind of programs are available for St. Mary's residents at the Friendship Center?
We're gonna tap our toe.
We're going to answer my questions.
We have quilting.
Quilting.
We have crafts.
Crafts.
We have paint nights.
Something. Oh, we have people running across the stage.
This is Hillary. We play all kinds of games. What do? We play pickleball. We play cards. Big wave. One hand, and the other hand. But I'm holding the mic.
I'm getting
There
hot.
you go. I think this is a G show. Alrighty.
Okay.
And tap your toe.
Now, go ahead. Keep going.
We also have men's coffee at 10 o'clock on a Thursday.
I can do
We
that.
also have congregate dining. Change feet. Here you go. We have congregate dining to provide social programming for seniors that might be a little bit lonely. Step touch for two. Spread out, guys. Two. Are they going the right way or the wrong way?
We're out of rhythm
What
as
are you
usual.
doing? Two more.
Yeah. Now, are the programs open only
Tap your
to...
toe. Tap your toe.
Yes, tap my toe. Are they only open to St. Mary's residents?
Programs are open to St. Mary's residents and area. We actually have people coming from Woodstock, from London, to some of our programs here at the center. Lift your knees up. Here we go. Right and left. Right and left. Lift them higher, boys. Come on, lift them higher. Hold that belly button in.
And what are the benefits of exercise classes?
Benefits of exercise. You fight chronic condition.
Is there a hospital in St. Mary's?
Yep. Try to have that quality of life that you want. What else?
Okay.
Plus you look awesome.
What are the Oh, we're finished.
No, stay
No?
right where
Let's keep
you are.
walking.
Oh.
Stay right where you are.
Come on, bring it
How
on.
are they doing?
Bring it on.
And how are they doing?
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, what are the benefits of exercise classes?
V-step right here. Focus in a moment. Here we go. Focus in a moment. Didn't I answer that question already?
Well, I don't know. I'm just so out of breath that I am sort of spaced out. What are the elements in an hour-long class?
Oh, we have warm-up. We have 20 minutes of cardio. We have cool-down. And we're going to balance. Switch feet. We're trying to prevent falls.
Now both feet.
Alrighty, back to marching. You love it, right? You feel better already.
Yeah, right.
I've got a couple push-ups.
Okay, here we go.
No.
Right hand and left hand. Right. Left. Right. 4, 3, 2, both hands. Here we go.
There's some bottom, so there's a dance.
Hi, Dad.
Now, how do you measure the effectiveness of your program?
By how tired they are when they leave the class.
Well,
How many had CPR?
Here we go. Step touch, step touch. Okay, we do feedback. One of my favorite things about evaluation is those wonderful stories that seniors and our participants tell me about how great they feel when they exercise. That's how we tell.
yes, and you often go, woo!
Big arms!
Now,
Big arms! Lift your leg! Lift your leg! Good job! Good job! There we go! Woo!
if you want to get involved in this, how do you get involved, Pauline?
You just show up at the Friendship Center, Rotary Apartments, Thames Valley, Kirkton Community Center, Stonebridge, and the YMCA for free exercise
That's what I tell my wife. Lift
Did I
up your
say
legs.
free?
Free.
It's kind of like the front porch show, isn't it?
Yeah. And if you want to come and see me exercise harder than this, come Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11:30 at the Friendship Center.
We also have volunteer programs through the Friendship Center. How we doing?
Beautiful. Keep it going.
How you doing? Alrighty, V-step.
Calling out around the world. Are you ready for a band new?
This isn't karaoke, John.
4 more. 3. You look beautiful today.
Oh, okay.
Right, left.
I think we can fade it out because because I am fading out.
Hang in there, John.
Okay.
Maybe if you came more often.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, come on out and join us. And say, just show up, or you can call the Friendship Center and get all the information done. We're heading off to commercial now, okay? Tell us about it. Here's your microphone, Don, right here.
Yes, sir. I know you worked up an appetite. I know I did. That coffee might not hold me, but you might get to snack over at the Town and Country Cheese Shop.
I'm Christine from Town and Country Cheese Shop at 117 Queen Street.
And I'm Lori, also from the cheese shop.
Hey Lori, let's take a selfie on the front porch show. Say cheese!
Cheddar.
No, I said cheese.
Photobomb.
Free.
Why can't you just say cheese?
Well, when you have more than 94 varieties of local and imported cheese, it's hard to pick just one.
But we are more than just cheese.
That is so true. We also do homemade sandwiches, salads, wraps, quiche, fruit pies, meat pies, pizza pies, butter tarts, deviled eggs, and of course, dill pickles.
And for all our partiers in the audience, we also do cheese, meat, veggie, and fruit platters, as well as corporate lunch catering.
We could go on and on and on, but our time is almost up. If you have more questions, please feel free to pop by the cheese shop or check us out on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, or call 519-284-4508.
Hey, Lori, how about that selfie?
All right.
Everybody's got a hungry tummy. Everybody's got a hungry tummy. Everybody's got a hungry tummy. Everybody like John and Donnie and Frankie. We got a hungry tummy. Cheese shop, beautiful baby.
Butter tarts.
Oh.
Yay. We have many talented musicians on our show, and here are two of them, 8 a.m. and Angry.
Have I got sound?
This didn't end like we wanted, but really nothing ever does. Honestly, we would have ended up dying and been unhappy for years to come. It just wasn't meant to be. It just wasn't gonna happen. It just wasn't meant to be. No, no, no. And I don't have time to dwell. You need to back away. You need to acknowledge that we're done. I need to not have you lose me. I need to focus on my ex. It just wasn't meant to be. It just wasn't gonna It just wasn't meant to be. No, no, no. And I don't have time to dwell. I truly think you're nice, and you don't hurt me. But my patience is running thin, and I need this to stop. 2, 3, 4. It just wasn't meant to be. It just wasn't gonna happen. It just wasn't meant to be. No, no, no. And I don't have time to dwell.
Okay, great. Come on. Pauline, you beat me out. It's hard for me to just get up the step now. Okay, introduce yourselves, please.
Hey, I'm Erin.
I'm Joseph.
Okay, and Joseph also often does audio for us as well. Yeah, you can speak into that microphone. How did you come up with the name 8 a.m. and Angry?
I had a roommate last year. She was really lovely, but we were having work done on our roof one summer morning, and she was not happy about it. So I decided to make a bit of a joke out of it.
What time was that at?
I wonder.
I kept on calling him 5 a.m. and Angry, and Joseph kept on glaring at me. So, okay, but a lot of your material's original. That was an original song, correct?
Yeah.
And you wrote that.
Yeah.
Really good.
Thanks.
Yeah. And you do 2 more that are original, right?
Yeah, they're all.
Wonderful. And what kind of venues have you played?
A lot of stuff in London. The EVAC was a big one. We did Fitzroy's last week, which was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of just like bars and pubs and like artsy places.
We're playing the Customs House.
Oh.
We're playing the Customs House on August 11th.
Audio guy, bigger close to the microphone. Okay. Have you recorded any of your music?
Actually, yeah. Actually, yeah. And we actually have 10 cassettes for sale, $5 a piece. But there's only 10.
Cassettes. Interesting. Put your hand up if you have a cassette player. Oh, that's quite amazing. Okay. Who's got an 8-track out there somewhere? Oh, I can't believe it. And you still play it?
I got a 78.
I got a record player. Actually, they're coming back. Okay, so...
And our album is also on Spotify and Apple Music. So.
Okay, so how do you get it? You go online to Spotify and Apple, and how else do you get your music? If somebody wants to get
Cassettes.
Cassettes. What plans do you have for music in your future?
I'm currently working to write a second album, so at least 10 more songs. It's a process though. We'll see when that happens. And mainly seeing us live and doing more shows. We hope to do a lot more in like the new school year and stuff.
And when are you going to get to Customs House?
August 11th.
And that's a Saturday?
Saturday.
Saturday, August 11th. So come out and see him. Nice music. But what are the next 2 songs you're going to play?
One's called Worth My Time and the other one's Muddy Waters.
Okay, fantastic. 8 a.m. and Angry.
I'm not angry anymore.
Thank you. 8 a.m. and angry.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, one of the songs said you weren't angry anymore.
Yeah, I know.
So you're not angry anymore.
I'm sarcastic.
Okay. Well, I think she's more than sarcastic. I think she's fantastic. So there we go. That's the show for today. I'd like to thank all of our Cadzow crew, and don't forget, Blake Woods is over there. We're still with donuts, and we don't want them for the after show party, not for me. So get it. Where are you, Blake? Oh, there he is back there. He's still got lots of donuts, Krispy Kremes. So we'd also like to thank those watching live on the internet, and don't forget, if you're on the internet watching us, leave your name and where you're watching from, and we will mention you on the next show. So there we go. And I'd like to thank our guest, Amy Cubberley, Scott Graham, the Eggman, Pauline White, the torture woman, and our musical guest, 8 a.m. and Angry. Join us next Sunday in Cadzow Park, live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We forget about that. For episode 6 of the Front Porch Show. Next show's guests are Sean Camp talking about River Rock, actress Denise Ferguson, and Charles Sharon and Cameron Porches from the St. Mary's Station Gallery. There we go. And our musical guest, boy, am I tired, Pauline, is Rooster and Henhouse. Good night, everyone. Frank, take us home.
Just before I do, I want to dedicate a song. You know, you could be, that's ukulele, right?
Yeah.
You could be the great-granddaughter of this guy that wrote this whole song. Tiptoe through the doors and this place on Fortune Party. Tiptoe through the tour. Try it with me. It's in D. And we'll go dashing through the smashing in the moonlight. Won't you party? Tiny Tim, right? How many people remember? With me. He played the ukulele too. Yep. All right. I was born in Ontario, a place to stand, a place to grow. Pickle Lake to Point Lake, no place I'd rather be than my hometown they call Stone Town. Prettiest town for miles around. Little falls loud, people share smiles, treat you like family. St. Mary's home to me. Oh, St. Mary's home to me. I can't count the times I've been amazed, how I've been blessed, how God is great, how I was led to this special place. It's quite a mystery, where anyone can be your friend, and farmers' fields they never end, and through it all throws the mighty Thames. Oh, what a sight to see. Let me see. St. Mary's home to me. St. Mary's home to me. Get him clapping, John. Oh, St. Mary's home to me. You got it. Home, St. Mary's home to me. We're on beat tonight.
There we go.
Many miles on old highways, on dusty trails, When times got tough, when all else failed, I knew where I should be. Back in my hometown they call Stone Town, prettiest town for miles around. Little falls laugh, people share smiles, they sing this in harmony. You ready? Come on, go! St. Mary, St. Mary is home to me. St. Mary, St. Mary is home to me. Little louder. St. Mary, St. Mary is home to me. It's my home. St. Mary is home to me. Together. St. Mary's home to me. Thank you for coming to the Front Porch Show.
Next week.